Hi, it's Will from stormthecastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy. And this is my latest tutorial. It's a knife making tutorial, and it's how to make a Karambit. See it? A Karambit. This is a Sumatran knife. Comes out of Indonesia, and it has its own martial art style to go with it. So an interesting and beautiful knife. Right? No point on this. So it's not a sticking knife, it's a slashing knife. See? You would slash with it. And there's two ways to hold it here. You can hold it like that with your pinky in the ring hole. You can also hold it like this with your index finger in the ring hole. See? So the slashing of that knife. Wonderful, interesting, and beautiful knife. And oh, and this is also a weapon there, right? Like a brass knuckle, you could use that. So I ran across these, they were beautiful. I figured we'd make one. Typical knife making steps. I'll take you through the whole process. I have lots of blacksmithing stuff here on my YouTube channel. I got knife making with a forge, knife making without a forge. We minimize the forging with this thing. Right? Beautiful knife. Let me see if we can get closer there. I love it. And there's also, I don't know how to use this, but there's also that you can do. But that's one of the things that ring is for. Right? Let me see. You can spin it on that ring. All right, enough fun and games. This is a Buckeye burlwood, brass pins. Really looks good. Let's launch into the introduction, and then we will launch into how to make a Karambit fighting knife. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and treasure telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, model rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. stormthecastle.com. Let's make something. All right, I'm going to take you through the steps of knife making here while we're making this knife and show you a few interesting things. I first started making out some karambits on a foam board. So I could design my own knife and I could get a really good feel for how it looks, how it fits, and how it feels in my hand. And you see here, I actually wanted to add a little spot for my thumb. See my left thumb there? I wanted to change the blade so I had a place to rest my thumb. So that I was doing that in this design period. This is the design stage of the knife. Draw them out on paper, cut them out in foam board or cardboard, try them, see how they feel, and this is the final design I ended up with. That's a 1-inch hole. It feels really good. I really like it. It's comfortable in my hand, and we're going to go with that. So now we need to transfer that pattern to wood and steel, so I drew it out on paper. And the hole, which is very important on a karambit, I drew that out with a compass. It's for me, a 1-inch hole, exactly 1-inch hole is perfect. And that's probably a standard, close to a standard for a lot of karambits. And the wood sections for the handle, put those on paper because we're going to use those. Cut out those pieces, take the blade piece and put it on your piece of steel. Now that's 01 steel, 5/32 thick, 3.5 inches wide, and it's an 18-inch long piece. I have a link on my website in the tutorial. I got lots of blacksmithing, knife making, and a tutorial on this. So now that you've got it on the steel, you've got it glued onto the steel, you can go ahead and cut that out. Takes a little bit of time here, and you can do consecutive cuts to cut out the profile of that blade. Takes a while. Keep at it, be persistent. Use oil on your hacksaw blade to keep it cool. And the hacksaw can do some curving, like that. See the curve on that? Some. But not all of it. This is a very curved knife. So just keep at it. You're going to build some muscle cutting out this knife. Although the steel isn't that thick, so it's not that bad. See the WD-40 I put there on the hacksaw blade? So that knife is profiled. It's cut out. Well, not really profiled. It's cut out. See, I got a little bit of extra. Hacksaw it as close as you can to the lines without crossing them, because it saves you a lot of work in the next stage. Now use some tools to finish the profile. If you got a belt sander, that'd be great. You know, that'll make quick and easy work of it, and you can establish some nice curves. I got this little 1-inch belt sander. You can do this whole profiling with just a file if you don't have any power tools. It just takes time. Put in the time and the effort. And it's really good for these flat sections here. I'm really happy with how this blade came out. It's kind of nice. Little Karambit. Now I'm just about done. You get the final shape of your blade, the outline shape of the blade. Oh, and use a variety of tools. I just wanted to show you a little bit of Dremel too you can use. I mean, have fun with it. Don't think of it as a task. This knife will last your life. And there it is, it's profiled. It looks really good. See where my thumb fits there? I like that. So use some mineral spirits and clear off the paper because we do not need it anymore. The paper was just a guide for us to cut out the knife. Excuse me. Now that hole, I'm really obsessed over that. It's got to be right because it won't look right if it's not centered right in the middle of that section. So I cut out a 1-inch piece of paper like that. I used a compass to draw that. I cut it out and I placed it. I tinkered around with it, get it right in the right spot. All right, and then use a center punch to punch that. Right there is the center. Now we can drill it and know we're in the right spot. Same thing with the handle.
Just so it doesn't
Use my template. I drew on that. I tinkered around with those holes just where I wanted the 2 pins. Marked them, get them marked right, and then hit it with a center punch. And that punch is exactly where we'll drill. Having a lot of fun with the blacksmithing and knife making. I get a lot of stuff on my website. Oh, and I have this template for you. It's in the tutorial if you want to make this exact knife. So let's drill out those holes. I started out, now these are 1/4 inch, the 2 handle holes end up to be 1/4 inch, but I started out with an 1/8 inch drill. It's a lot easier with steel to just drill a few consistent steps. See, and now here's the 1/4 inch drill. And drill out those 2 handle holes. Now the finger hole at the end, I did kind of a similar thing. I started out with an 1/8 inch, and then I drilled it 1/4 inch, and then I used a stepping drill to drill it all the way out to 1 inch, and that took a little bit of time. You had to work at it. Just take your time. Yeah, see the handle holes are done. That finger hole isn't. So there's the stepping drill. You just keep at it. Flip it over, drill from the other side, drill from this side, just keep drilling it out until it's the right size. See, right there it's about 1/2 inch maybe. I won't show you the whole thing. You'll see it later. But I'm glad it's in a perfect position. Now let's put a bevel on this bit blade. Most karambits are just sharp on the inside like this, but some are sharp on the outside, so you can sharpen both ends. I just did the inside. See that? About a 15-degree angle. And just keep at it. Always stroke in only forward direction. Don't go back and forth. Files don't work that way for something like this. So just keep beveling it on both sides, flip it over, do the other side. Keep at it until you get it close to sharp, but you don't sharpen it. You don't want it too close to sharp, because we gotta put it in the fire and we don't want to damage it. So now the handle. I took my pattern like you saw, and then I put it on the wood. I drew that out, and then I cut it out. Each piece is a little over 1/2 inch thick. These are called a scale now, a knife scale. See it? 2 slabs of wood, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch thick, and then I just cut them out to roughly a little bit bigger than the actual knife handle is going to be. See that? It's a little bit bigger. So now drill them out for temporary pins we're going to put in there. Clamp it down and drill it. Use a drill press for this if you can. I should have used a drill press, but that's all right. Then you flip this thing over, flip it over, and then do the other handle. It's important that you flip it over. Don't try to put both on the same side of the knife. So cut yourself some temporary dowel pins, 1/4 inch, and put them in there. Now what this does is, this is just a temporary thing for now, so we can shape that handle. A lot of work here with, actually not a lot of work, it was pretty good. That is Buckeye Burlwood. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Kind of nice, but it was too light for me. I ended up darkening up. So use a rasp, sandpaper, your belt sander, anything to shape the handle. Quick work though, compared to shaping the steel. There you go. Very nice. I like it. I ended up tinkering with it a little bit more, but it's very close to its final shape. So now we have to treat the steel. That means we have to harden and temper it so it's knife ready. That steel like that is no good as a knife. You have to harden it and temper it. So we crank up the forge, get the fire going. We're going to first harden the steel by getting it red hot. I can't remember the temperature. I think that's 1800 degrees, 1700 degrees. That changes the metal and hardens the steel. But that's too hard. Then we have to soften it back up. And I'll show you that. So put it right in there. And we're going to heat that up to red hot. And we're going to check it with a magnet. When a magnet no longer sticks to it, that means it's curie temperature, it's at the right temperature, you're ready to quench it. And you quench it and it locks it in as hardness. So see, it's starting to get. Now, I really was pretty happy with how this thing hardened and tempered. It was pretty good. Flip it over. Be very careful of the point. The point will overheat quick. So do not put that point directly in the fire. Keep it a little off. See, checking it with a magnet, it's not ready yet. It's still sticking. That's okay. You can see it's not ready. It's not red hot. But here it is. We're ready to go. Take a look at this. That's beautiful. I love that. That thing is ready, so quench it and watch the flames. Be careful. Cools it right down quickly, and it locks it into very, very hard. But it's also very brittle. You could snap this thing real easy. You know, it'll keep an edge, a very sharp edge, but it'll snap and break like glass, kind of like glass. See, it's hardened. So what we do is we want to soften it up a little bit. That's called tempering. And we bring it up to, I think it's about 500 degrees. And how we do that, how we know it's at 500 degrees, is by the color of it. So clean it off with some emery paper so you can see the color of the steel. See it? That's nice. And then it's going to go back in the fire, but not really in the fire. Keep it away from the fire like this. I put 2 rods across the fire, and then I put the knife on top of it. So now it's going to slowly heat up, and it's not going to get as hot. And we watch the color of it. It's going to change to a wheat color. And it's already starting to get wheat colored. Oh, hey, the cuckoo clock. I have a video on fixing that cuckoo clock. If you want to look that up. I love cuckoo clocks. So we want it to get to a wheat color. If it gets to plum, it's gone a little bit too soft. And usually I get there, but this time I didn't. See? See, it's a wheat color, and we're going to take another look at that. That means it's at the right temperature. The steel has been softened a little bit, so it has some flexibility to it. And you lock it in, just like that. I think we're done with the forging here. So now we're going to finish this knife off. This is a long tutorial. If you've watched this far, thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching my videos. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, thanks for that. I got lots of stuff coming and lots of stuff behind us. See, it's the wheat color. Pretty good. I could have gone a little bit further. After all that hard work at the forge, take an ice cream break. It was a beautiful morning. It really was. It was really wonderful to hit the forge. Now we're going to polish this knife up. And for the most part, we just have to worry about the blade. You don't have to polish much. The handle part is going to be covered by the actual wood. And we work our way through a regression of grits. I start at 100 grit, give it a good go over, both sides, everything. Then I move to 180 grit, give it another good go over. There you go, it's 220 grit. Right? And what that does is it makes it finer and finer and finer and shinier and shinier and shinier and more knife-like. And I work my way all the way up. There's 320. I work my way all the way up to 600. You can go as far as 1200 and it'll look like a mirror. You know, just do the handle roughly with the rough grits, and then the blade, focus on the blade and the bevel a lot. So the knife, the steel is done. Now let's get back to the handle. I didn't really like this handle, this Buckeye Burl. It was a little too light for me. It was too blonde, I guess you could say. I was like, eh. So I stained it. And I forget the name of the stain. It might have been red mahogany. Stain it, set it aside overnight, let it dry completely, and then sand it. But hey, go to natural wood, doesn't matter. Whatever you like. There's all kinds of beautiful exotic hardwoods and stuff you can use. Sand it up nicely to lighten it up. It'll take the next stage. So now we have to replace those wooden pins with actual brass pins. So take your wooden pins and measure them. That is 1/4 inch of brass rod. You can buy it at Home Depot, Lowe's, any place like that. They have it in racks. And they always have it. It's just brass rod. Measure off your pins and measure a little bit longer than the pins you have. A little bit, maybe 32nd, 1 inch. And then cut those pins. The reason why I run them a little bit longer is we'll file them down so they're perfectly fit to the handle. So they're going to go right in that handle. Not yet though. We're going to glue it all together. Kind of like the final assembly step here. I use 5-minute epoxy Gorilla Glue. This stuff is terrific. It automatically pours out equal amounts. Then you mix it up with a stick that comes with it. And you know, some people say, oh, use the 15-minute, the 30-minute. The 5-minute is fine. Use the 5-minute. You got plenty of time to work it. Mix it up till it's an even color. And then apply it liberally to the flat surfaces of the handles. Both of them. This handle will never ever separate from that blade or shift or anything. This glue is terrific. Well, and plus you've got it pinned. So it's like a, you know, double security. Oh, excuse me. So put it together. Right? Slide it around a little bit until you match those holes. And then pin it. If you have a mallet, use a mallet. And one of my pins is a little bit longer than the other, and I had to be careful of that. There we go. You know, if you make this knife, you have got to send me a picture of it. I need to put it on our website. And I'm going to have a lot of supporting materials, you know, some links to woods, some links to the exact steel that I got, and more information about this knife and how to make it on my website in the web tutorial. The link is at the bottom of this page in the description section. And then clamp it down for 30 minutes. With this 5-minute glue, it says workable in 30 minutes, so you clamp it for half an hour. Don't clamp on the pins, because then it's not really clamping. Clamp on the wood. I ended up using 3 clamps. Now you use a file to bring down those brass pins. Bring them down nice and flush and perfectly flush with the wood handle. That's it. Time to finish this thing off. Well, kind of. I love tung oil. You rub that on. You let it dry. Let it sit overnight. You rub it on another coat. You rub on another coat. The rubbing action, if you press hard, actually gives it like a luster. It works into the wood. Sand it a little bit after it's dry with a very fine sandpaper. Put another coat on. Put lots of coats, and it's really spectacular. Thanks for watching this video. There's the completed Karambit. Looks really good. I like it. The wood ended up pretty decent. Like I said, I wasn't too happy with it being too light. I wanted to darken it up, and I did. I'm going to put more coats of tung oil on this. So that's it. Thanks for watching my videos. Epic Fantasy is my name, my channel. Here's more stuff you might like. There's forging a sword, making chainmail, forging a knife, and in the lower left is a easy knife making, the no forging way.